episode 89. We've got product placement everywhere. If you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, our great sponsors at Angel Water providing us with some nice cold beverages. And Stacey and Tim are trying something else. And Stacey, you want to do the introductions? We've got a special guest for all of you watching on YouTube and the Twitch feed.
Well, you know what? Twitch, Bulls Nation, America, it's good to be back, first of all. Mark, I missed you guys, okay?
We missed you too.
That's the first thing should have been said out of your mouth is welcome back, okay? I see where the love is.
Well, you didn't mention my name, so I thought the love.
I'm just an old boot, America. I was at home for the last 2 weeks repairing my hip, and I come back and no one missed me. And then I get next to this guy, Timmy Whispers right here to my left.
He wasn't here last week either.
No, he wasn't here. He hasn't been here all year.
Hey, I'm up to 22 words so far this year.
And so,
you've already set a record.
Yeah, he's already said it. And listen, I have not seen Timmy Whispers this animated all season long. Okay, so today we got a special guest. I have my son, Eric, my oldest son, is sitting in, and he's just going to observe and occasionally say something. And if he doesn't say anything stupid, I have to get that dog collar and shock him. You know, he's already got it in his pocket, so if he does anything I don't like, I'm just going to shock him, and he knows he did something wrong. So, Eric, say hello to America.
Hey, America. Glad to be here. Got 3-hour notice, so.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I'll help him out over here.
First of all, whose kid is that? Okay. You get a personality, man. You're like, this is like a loaf of white bread. Come on. You're a king. Get excited.
I'll warm up. All
right, thank you. You must be on your mother's side.
Woo.
So, Eric, how tough is it to take care of the dogs when Stacey gives you that duty?
It's every day, every minute. Take the dogs out, and they're shitting on the floor. Can we say that?
No, don't tell them what we're doing. Don't tell them what they're doing. Don't give all the insight.
They're not potty trained and stuff like that, so it's tough. But, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
It's work.
Yeah.
Well, America, sounds like a personal problem. Okay? First of all, I will say this about my son, Eric. If it wouldn't been for him these last couple of weeks when I've been recovering from my hip surgery, he has been a trooper. He has done everything I've asked him to do. He comes in, he helps. He just does so many things that made my life a lot easier and it really helped my recovery. So,
didn't he call him Nurse Ratchet last week, Mark?
Who called Nurse Ratchet?
I think he was referring to somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, first of all, don't try to come between me and my son, okay? All right? This is why the Beatles broke up, okay? There's always somebody. You're the Yoko Ono of this group, all right? But he does a great job, Mark. I'm not talking to Tim right now. I'm only addressing you, Mark. He does a great job. And I tell you what, it'd been really tough if he wouldn't have been there to help out. So kudos to you, Eric. Your check's in the mail. I take that back. You're not getting paid. So you're my son. It's free.
I'm here for the people.
Yeah, he's here for the people.
So is Kobe still trying to beat up on Brixton and eat his food and all that stuff?
Kobe's the alpha, but he kind of takes.
You can talk in the mic.
You can talk in the mic. You talking in your beard?
Who am I supposed to be looking at the camera?
No, just look at us. Don't worry about the camera. Don't worry about the camera.
Kobe's the alpha, but he takes it easy on Brixton.
That's good.
Brixton got his leg broken when he was little. So
we remember that. He was in here with the cast.
He hasn't been the same since then. So. Yeah.
Okay, is this a sad moment? Jesus, just hey, way to bring the mood of the show down, Eric.
Hey, let's talk some basketball. Let's move on.
Bring it back up, Mark. Come on.
Hey, the Bulls finished Summer League with a 4-1 record. We saw some good things along the way. Marko Simonovic made the second team for the all-rookie team out in Las Vegas, and he showed some growth. He put on 25 pounds of muscle, and I thought that he looked more comfortable with the ball, better passing out of the post. But the reality of it is you got Vucivic, you got Andre Drummond ahead of him. It looks like he's going to be spending a lot of time in the G League again this year.
Well, listen, it was very encouraging seeing him play in the Summer League and seeing that he has improved. He's gotten bigger. He was much more aggressive. It seemed like he realized, hey, I'm better than some of these guys out here. And you can tell. I think the biggest problem with Marko is he's going to have to get the coach's trust. Billy's going to have to work hard in training camp. He's going to have to play really well in the preseason because that's the time you really don't play your veterans a lot during the preseason. It's hard to gauge how good he actually is going to be because he was in a summer league with first and second year players. And, of course, he's going to be a little bit better than incoming rookies because this is year 2 for him.
Right.
But now where the test for him is can he put that together when the season starts, when he goes into the preseason, when he's battling against NBA talent, the guys who've been there 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And he's got to win the trust of the coaching staff. That's the number one thing. He can't get hurt. can't play soft, and he's got to come out there with a chip on his shoulder to show the coaches that, hey, I can play not only some 5, I can swing to play 4 because I'm versatile enough on the floor where I can, pick and pop and shoot. If you want to go with a lineup, you bring him and Drummond in at the same time. Drummond's your rebounder, your tough guy, your rim protector. I think Marco's got a chance to play, but it's going to be up to him. He's got to win it over. He's got to win the coaches over.
Yeah, watching Marco play in the G League, I called a bunch of his games, and he thinks, like a lot of 7-footers, he thinks he's a guard. And a lot of times he'll get that rebound, and he'll try to go behind the back and throw a no-look pass, and then you get in trouble. I think during the summer league, he kind of stayed in his lane. He shot some threes. He's got a decent shooting form. But I think when you're 7 feet tall, use that to your advantage, and don't try to be something you're not.
Well, Mark, this is the way the NBA is now. I mean,
Yeah.
7-footers now they want to be guards. They want to be wing players. They want to shoot 3-point. I mean, look at Vooch. Vooch used to be, when in early part of his career, when he started in Philadelphia and then got traded to Orlando, he was one of the best back-to-the-basket guys in the NBA. And then with the game evolving into 3-point shooting, the big guys are like dinosaurs. You saw the meteorites come down, and some of the dinosaurs are going to survive, some of them don't. And the way you survive is to change your game, change the mentality of the way you think. And he was one of the guys that were able to change the way he plays, and he became a very good 3-point shooter for a big guy, very good 3-point shooter. You look at a guy like Brook Lopez, who's always been a back-to-the-basket guy, but had decent range from 15 to 18 feet. He had to expand his game to be effective. So I tell you what, man, I give Vooch a lot of credit. I think this year you're going to get the best Vooch, because it's a contract year. He's playing for this probably his last big contract, and I think he recognizes that. I think his name's going to come up in a lot of trade rumors by the trade deadline. And if he's the reason why the Bulls are number 1 or 2 in the Eastern Conference, that's going to be hard for anybody to pull a trigger, as far as the Bulls doing, pulling a trigger on a guy who now this team is playing at a high level. They're playing just as good as they did when they had all the players last year when they got off to a great start. It's going to be hard to as the front office saying, we're going to move this guy for, some draft picks. You might have taken a championship caliber guy off your team with the way he's playing.
You mentioned the injury factor earlier, and there was an uh-oh moment in the last summer league game. Dalen Terry slipped on a wet spot, and he grabbed for his knee, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. We're not going to have another major knee injury. Turned out it was just a hamstring strain. They held him out the rest of the game. The reports a couple days afterwards are he's fine. He's already back working out. But I tell you what, for a second there, I'm thinking, don't tell me we're going to have another serious injury.
Well, Mark, let me just say this. America, we were looking for the voodoo person again because we thought we had got the voodoo person who was putting all the bad luck on the Bulls. We thought we'd taken care of him at the end of the year. And so all of a sudden now, I don't know, somebody else grabbed the voodoo doll, and I saw that same thing, and I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And the thing about him is that, we talked about this, Mark, is like, he played really well towards the end of Summer League because I think he realized, like, these guys are going to come at you no matter what. So you got to just play within yourself and do the things that you're comfortable and capable of doing. The kid's got great size, 6'7", 7'1" wingspan. He can play the 1, 2, or 3. So that makes him that much more valuable to the Bulls. And I think once he slowed down a little bit and stopped pressing, because a lot of times I was there too. I was the same way. When you're at Summer League and you watch a kid that got drafted, same class as you, put up 25 and you only got 9 or 10, that puts a little pressure on you. So I think he was scoreboard watching, and that's the reason why I think you saw him kind of play a little bit out of control early, but at the end, he started to show why he was a first-round pick.
Yeah, he was much better in games 3 and 4. He cut down on his turnovers. He went to the basket. He got to the free throw line. You saw a lot of things that why the front office was encouraged in taking Dalen Terry number 1. Whispers, what was your favorite moment from Summer League?
Well, just the rankings, the fact that he was number 11 in ESPN's top 20.
Wow, he did his research coming on the show.
I'm impressed. I didn't even know if he was awake. Yeah. A lot of times the Bulls, you didn't know when they were playing. Well, you had to really search the.
Yeah, but some of the guys ahead of him on that list only played 1 game, and so if you look at then the content, where does he really sit in there? Could he be number 6, number 5?
And he's not going to be a scorer initially. I mean, his purpose is to play defense and play limited minutes. Remember when Jimmy Butler got here under Thibs, he didn't play at all his rookie year. So Dalen Terry will get some minutes, but he's not going to be a key part.
Let me tell you something. Hey, you saw those kids last year. The Jones kid from New Orleans. All these kids who came in that got minutes that weren't expected to get minutes. If this kid comes out there and has the mindset of, I'm not out there to score. What I'm out there to do is play defense, knock down timely shots, push the ball in transition, move without the basketball, he can find himself in the rotation. It's the same thing that we saw with Io. Io didn't play a lot in the preseason. Everybody was like, why is he not playing? Why is he not playing? Well, the Bulls were heavy at the guard position. And it took a couple of times where, when the regular season started and Billy knows what kind of defensive player Io was. And then you start saying, okay, we're getting killed at the top of the circle. Let's put this kid in. And then once Io got into the lineup, he knew defense was going to be his calling card, and he focused on that, and that's how he got in the lineup. And I see the same thing with Terry, because I think he's going to be in a little bit better position than Io was, because of the simple fact he can play 3 positions. It's not just he's a point guard. He can play the 1, 2, or 3, so that makes him a little bit more valuable than Io was last year going into his rookie year. Not taking anything away from Io. Io made the second team all-rookie, and we all know Io was a first-round talent. But this kid was a first-round draft pick. He's 6'7". He's not 6'2". He's 6'7", legit. 7'1", 7'2" wingspan, and he plays multiple positions. So he is that much more valuable per se than what Io was last year before he started getting off.
I think might get a chance to earn some minutes in camp is Justin Lewis, the kid that they signed after the draft. He looked really good in summer league. He's got an NBA body. He's ready to go. He signed to a 2-way contract, which means you can only play a maximum of 50 NBA games, but there's no law that says you can't convert that to a standard deal if he shows in the preseason that he can be a part of the rotation.
Well, you know what? The one thing I liked about him, Mark, he just goes about his business. He doesn't go out. He's not flashy. He's not beating his chest. He's not doing any of that stuff. He's going out there and he understands, I got to play. I'm going to be a 2-way player. He has the ability to be a nice player in this league. Not just a fringe role player, a guy that's making a contribution to a winning team. He makes winning plays. He rebounds the basketball. He's tough-minded. He plays under control, plays at his own pace. He doesn't back down from challenges. I saw him guard a couple of guys out there that were, first-round talents last year, and you saw him get over screens. He fought over screens. And those are the things that the coaching staff looks for when you're looking at young players. Because a lot of times these guys come in this league, Mark, and they're more offensive-minded. They're ready to play offensively in the NBA game, but defensively they're not able to play at all. And that's why you see a lot of guys not getting a lot of minutes unless their team is down by a lot of points. And this is why Io got to play. This is why guys like Taj Gibson got to play his rookie year. Second-round pick comes out there. He's defensive ready to play. Jimmy Butler, even though he only played 8 minutes a game his rookie year, he was a guy that you said you can put him out there. He's NBA ready to play defensively. And I think that's how guys like Lewis and Terry, they're going to have an opportunity because they're defensive ready, NBA defensive ready.
If you're a regular listener of the Gimme the Hot Sauce podcast, and really, why aren't you if you're not? Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Stacey always gets the best guests. He's got all the connections around the league. We had Zach Lowe on during the season, and he had a lot of things to say about the Bulls, some very complimentary things. Well, Zach, in his latest podcast, which came out a couple of days ago, the Low Post podcast, he had Chicago-based Chris Herring on to talk about the Bulls. And Zach wasn't real positive about the Bulls offseason. He thought that after the Bulls finished 6th in the East last year, did a lot of great things, he thought they'd be really aggressive in trying to go out and spend some money and try to improve their depth. As you can see if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, there's one of the quotes. He said the Bulls are a lukewarm team outside of the discourse of among the contenders in the Eastern Conference. He felt like the Bulls had a golden opportunity to make some big moves during the offseason. Now, they didn't have cap space, but he thought maybe you could make a trade, bring in a guy that could really help you with your bench. And he felt like the Bulls missed an opportunity to keep themselves among the top 4 or 5 teams in the East.
Well, I think his point was basically with the way this team jailed so early last year, and they were one of the top teams all the way up till probably 65 games into the season when the injuries and the sicknesses started taking control. And then the year that DeMar DeRozan had, Zach LaVine, 2 All-Stars, and then figuring that you're going to get Lonzo Ball back healthy this year, okay? Then you go out and get Drummond, you get Dragic. You got an opportunity to be better. But I think what he was saying is like, hey, you're right there. The East is not scary. Go out and spend some money. Put a team together that at least you can say has an opportunity to win. And that's one thing about when you start, listening to, like, I respect Zach Lowe.
Oh, absolutely.
He's one of the few guys that I listen to that I listen to him religiously because he knows what he's talking about. But there are some other guys out there, Bleacher Report, some other people, that I don't really think they know what they're talking about. I mean, when you can rank the Bulls 18th, in all the teams coming back this year, it's a shame. But back to Zach's point, when you start looking at the top 7 or 8, 9 teams in the league that are over the cap, every one of those teams are going to have a chance to, and this is what he was saying, every one of those teams that are over the cap are going to have a chance to win a championship. The Clippers, Golden State, Boston, there's a whole handful of those teams. And they'd even, one of the teams that's left out of there that's under the cap was Memphis. And Memphis has a chance to win just based off of talent. And they didn't have to spend a lot of money because they got a lot of their guys still under the rookie contract. So they're not on there yet. But in another year or so, you're going to see the Memphis Grizzlies right up there with those teams trying to overspend to win a championship. So I understand where he's coming from. But at the same time, it's like, okay, what moves do you make? Like, I mean, this team is not in position because we don't really have a lot of assets. So that means you're going to have to get rid of guys on your team to even be in the conversation to get a guy like Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant. There's really not a lot of play out there. I mean, you make a deal with LA to get, to bring Russell Westbrook. How does that help the Bulls?
Right.
So there's really, and I understand where he's coming from, Mark, but there wasn't really a lot of opportunity for the Bulls to really overspend. So why overspend when you're not going to get quality back, and then you're basically getting rid of half your team? Because in order to get Kevin Durant, you're going to have to put DeMar DeRozan in the package. You're going to have to put Patrick Williams in the package. Maybe even Zach LaVine. I mean, to match up the money. So we lose everybody and get one player. Now we're right back into that same position right now as we're rebuilding.
One point I thought was really good that he and Chris Herring made is the fact that the Bulls made all these moves. They traded 2 first-round picks and Wendell Carter to bring in Vooch. They traded a first-round draft pick to the San Antonio Spurs to bring in DeRozan. And the window is kind of small because both Vooch and DeRozan are in their 30s. And the point that Zach and Chris Herring made was that, okay, so you trade all these draft picks to bring in these veterans, and your window, as you mentioned, Vooch is in a contract year. DeRozan's got 2 more years left. So your window could be 2 years. And you gave up all these assets. And I think that's why he felt like if you're going to go that far, push all your chips to the center and bring in a guy who can really make an impact.
But even though, Mark, I mean, you're going to have to gut your roster to be able to get that kind of player that's going to make a difference. I mean, Kevin Durant's not coming for free. You can't trade a bag of Doritos, a year's supply of Doritos for him. You're going to have to give up Patrick Williams. You're going to have to either throw in Zach LaVine or DeRozan in that package. You may have to give up Ayo DeSumo. You may have to give up a lot of different things, maybe even some first-round picks to get him, future first-round picks to be able to get him. Then you find yourself in a situation again where you're in a rebuild. And then the star player that you bring here is like, well, dang, I was on a better team in Brooklyn. So now I want to be traded. So at the end of the day, when you look at the moves that they made to get to where they are right now, they put all their chips in. They went out and got Vooch. They went out and did what they could to get DeMar DeRozan. They went out and got all-star caliber players back. Maybe in people's eyes, a year or two too soon. Maybe a year too soon, 2 years too soon. But they did that. They did that, to get those guys. So, kudos to them. They can't do it every year. That's just the way it is.
They only spent a fraction of their mid-level, though, to bring Drummond in. To stay under the tax.
Yeah, listen, that I don't understand that move because I think there was they had that Tice
trade exception. That was $5 million.
And they were trying to get Bamba. They were trying to get all these young players, and for whatever reason, those guys went elsewhere.
But see, a move they could make. Indiana's blowing their thing up. Try to get Buddy Hield in here, a shooter off the bench. I know he's making a lot of money. But those are the kind of moves that teams that are really trying to win a championship, you bring in a guy who can be a dynamite sixth man who could really make a difference on your squad.
But at what cost? What would a Buddy Hield, what would take Indiana to make a trade for a guy like Buddy Hield with the Bulls? What could we offer them without giving up something that we believe is important for us to win? You know what I'm saying? So you got to match up.
It would have to be like Kobe White, the Portland pick, and something else to match salary.
And then you got to ask yourself. Then I mean, Buddy Hield's a great 3-point shooter, one of the best in the game. That helps us.
And he's from Oklahoma.
Yeah, he's from Oklahoma.
And a former guest.
Yes, and he's a former guest.
That's right.
Yeah, and he didn't
Only
get
the best guest.
And he didn't get his hot sauce. I just want to throw that out there. And that's not my fault. It's the
Hot sauce packer.
The hot sauce packer didn't do his job. He's not packing enough back there, baby.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
All right, get on the tracking number.
See, Eric, that's the
I
kind
had
of
no
stuff you
idea.
got to add, that wow thing.
Wow.
That's really adds a lot to the show.
That's all I
Sauce
have.
is good though.
Yeah.
Thank
There you
you.
go.
Yeah,
Testimonial.
Wait a minute. What? I didn't hear it. We have a testimonial? what did you say about the hot sauce,
Yeah,
son?
the level 3 one's my favorite.
And is it
I don't
packed?
even
Is it
like
packed
hot
well?
sauce.
Was yours packed well?
No. It was
Did you get a man card and a sticker?
So you like the original red?
the level 3, whatever, the non-spicy one.
Okay,
It's still spicy, but
Yeah, he likes the original red sauce, America. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it is on fire. It is. I've heard from Ari Spears. Ari Spears has asked me and Tim to ship him
To pack another box.
in a patent leather box and a whip. I didn't know what the whip was for, but hey, if that's
a whole different conversation.
It's a whole.
None of my business.
Kendra Lutz on there? What?
Another former
We're
guest.
dropping all kinds of names of former guests.
who's that?
Oh wow!
Oh, like you
Eric.
don't know.
Like you don't know. He's one of the main people asking about when is she coming back on. Do you have access to her OnlyFans channel?
If you go back over the library of Give Me the Hot Sauce episodes, that's the one that continues to grow every week.
Mama.
Just like Tim. Yeah, Tim continues to grow, not in the right areas, America. Just like whispers.
Yeah, be careful with that.
Hey-o.
Hey, buddy, what's going on down there?
Hey, we got Jalen
that the
Brunson
microphone?
waiting in the Sriracha waiting room.
Oh.
But before we bring Jalen in, let's quickly talk about the Central Division because
yes.
you look at the Pistons getting Jaden Ivey. Cleveland added Ochai Agbaji from Kansas, who was the most outstanding player in the NCAA tournament. There's some young teams that are on the rise, and so people are wondering, can the Bulls stay in the top 6? Well, they got them teams nipping at their heels in their own division.
Well, listen, the Central Division is going to be a beast. Okay, Milwaukee's Milwaukee. The Bulls finished second last year. Those are going to be your two top teams. Cleveland was right under the Bulls, nipping at their heels. No one expected either the Bulls or Cleveland to be in that situation anyway. Yeah. Okay, the only team that everybody expected was Milwaukee. And after that, everybody else was under 500, not even a factor. But Cleveland and the Bulls got off to such a great start. Remember in the preseason when the Bulls beat Cleveland by about 40?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, it's the first game of the year, they killed them. And then all of a sudden, Cleveland's one of the best teams in the league. As long as Darius Garland's there and they just signed Ricky Rubio, I don't know what they're going to do with Kevin Love, but he has to be back because I thought Kevin Love played a great role coming off the bench for them. But they're going to be a team to watch. The Bulls, Milwaukee, and the Cleveland are the top 3 teams. The other teams in the Central Division,
Detroit's going to be fun to watch.
Detroit
with Ivy and Cade Cunningham.
Detroit in about 3 years. If they're patient with Dwayne Casey and allow him to teach these kids and get them to play in the way they need to play, they're going to be scary. They'll
be good.
And then Indiana's Indiana.
Well, they're looking to blow it up. And you might be able to get a guy from that team. Miles Turner still could be traded.
Yeah.
They're a team that's looking to sell off. And I'll be fascinated to see where Buddy Hield winds up. I don't think he's going to start the season.
Well, let me just tell you this. America, if they're having a garage sale up in Indianapolis, we need to be there. The Bulls need to be up there.
There's some pieces,
if they're selling buy one, get 2 free, we need to be up there. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the Lakers are really pushing to try to get Buddy Hield.
Yeah,
and,
they are.
I don't know what they have to give up. I mean, every time you hear a trade rumor, it's almost like they're trying to give Russell Westbrook away. Listen, they're telling teams, Rob Pelinka's telling teams, listen, we'll take 95% of his contract, just take him. And the team's like, but we'll still have to pay 5% of it.
Yeah,
no.
but those guys got together on the phone. They smoothed it over. They're good. LeBron and AD and Westbrook.
No.
Not buying that. Huh?
No, I don't. I think Russell Westbrook's feelings have been hurt.
Yeah.
I saw in the Drew League. Oh, speaking of the Drew League, America. Did you not see DeMar DeRozan?
Oh, that was nice.
Just giving out buckets.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan was like he was playing last year. He was like, he was, and then you had one guy that Patrick Beverly looked like. the Patrick
Beverly wannabe.
Yeah, Patrick Beverly in 20 years. They look like somebody's dad out there with a dad body. He's out there trying to make a name for himself. He's out there trying to body up my boy Debo. and got his butt handed to him. He gets clapping in his face, talking trash, and Debo let him know. He was letting him know this is my house. And you got to remember, they was in Compton.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
That's not a good place to be trying to talk trash to someone who was born and raised in Compton's in the house. So yeah, it was great seeing DeMar play well.
And he had a pretty good power forward on his team.
Oh
too.
man, I'll tell you what. We might need to test LeBron James, man. Seriously, LeBron James is like 60 years old, running around like he's 20. Some of the things, seriously, I'm amazed because when you go back and look at the history of the NBA game, okay, as great as Kareem was, as great as Magic, Michael, Larry Bird, those guys after a certain period of their career are on a decline. Okay, as much as we hold Michael as the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Michael towards the last 2-3 years of his career, especially in the Wizards uniform, was not the same Michael, okay? You look at LeBron James, what is he, 34?
No, he's almost 38.
Oh, that even shines new light on the situation. Unless he got a year's supply of Geritol, how in the world,
him and Tom Brady,
TB12. Him and Tom Brady, I'm telling you, man, they're just blessed by God, or they're drinking some kind of TB12 juice.
So what is it, Jordan missed 7 games during his career? Without the foot. I'm going to eliminate that. And how many has LeBron taken a pass on?
Just been recently. He's been hurt a lot more recently.
No, but time management I'm talking about, that not from being hurt. If you eliminate that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There's a huge
MJ wouldn't sit out for that. No.
But I'm just telling you, America. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying it's almost to me after seeing all these players and playing against all these guys and seeing I came in with Larry Bird's last year. And McHale, they could barely walk. Like, seriously, they were so much in pain, backs, knees. And to see LeBron James be doing this, getting close to 40, out flying, jumping, it's like, how? Like, how are you physically able to do that? Now, granted, he spends $2 million a year
peptides
on massages and his nutritionists and all his own personal people. I give him credit. But to see him doing what he's doing at this age, and then still holding on to his son comes in. His son,
he'll play. Yeah,
he's going to play with his son.
There's no question.
And so whoever drafts his son, and there's going to be a whole suit of people. He may not even be a lottery pick. They may have him rated number 35, but he will be the number 1 pick. The number 1 pick is Bronny James, and we just found out. Wait a minute. The Lakers have just traded LeBron to wherever to play with Bronny.
Yeah, that'll be a story. No question about it. If you're an NBA executive, though, you're watching that Drew League tape, and they were in a junior high gym, and the fans are right up against the end line. I'm like, oh, my God. If somebody gets hurt, though, flying into the crowd.
I'm telling you, though, that's how it used to be, Mark. That's how it used to be back in the day, man, when you played, in summer league games. The fans are right up on your,
but you land on somebody's foot.
Hey, listen, if you land up on somebody's foot, hey, it happens, Mark. When you're a street ball player, that's
like
how it
Rucker
is.
Park.
It's a street ball, man. You don't think of that, but NBA executives do.
Oh yeah.
You come down on somebody's foot and tear your knee up like that. And the Drew League should do something about that. To be honest with you, if you want star players to come, you do have to clear off the least the in line so that people can run and jump and stuff because they're so big and powerful. I mean, there was a dunk LeBron did coming down the middle of the floor and one guy, this little white kid, like 6'6", 6'7", he made an executive decision to get the hell out of the way. As soon as he jumped, and as soon as he saw LeBron jump, and he just looked, and he's like, this is not going to end well. Yeah. And he pulled them little arms down like a T-Rex, and then just Kelley floated away out the picture. But he was in the poster, though. He was in the poster.
Well, one guy who didn't make it down to the Drew League was Jalen Brunson. He was busy signing a $106 million contract with the New York Knicks, the pride of Stevenson High School. Jalen Brunson joins us next on Gimme the Hot Sauce. But first, I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors, our buddy Jeff Vucivic. When it comes to insurance for your auto, home, and business, make sure to contact the king of insurance. That's Jeff Vucivic at jeffvuk.com. JeffVuk.com. And Stacey, you remember.
Nationwide is on your side. Woo! Woo!
He's out of the house. He's in good spirits. He's got the angel water coursing through his veins.
But we got to ask E what he thinks of that.
I'm used to it.
Family's always your toughest critic, Stacey.
You know what? Listen, it's a long ride back home to where we live. He's got to be a little bit more supportive of his pops, okay? I'm giving him a time. Put him on the air right now.
I didn't say you were bad.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Here's the warm-ups in the shower.
Jalen Brunson next.
Okay, you're
Give
done.
me the hot sauce.
You're out. You're out. You're done, Tim. You're done.
Here's the needle.
It is now our pleasure to welcome in a very special guest on Gimme the Hot Sauce. It is Jalen Brunson, who of course led Stevenson High School to a state championship, Illinois Mr. Basketball, won a couple of national titles at Villanova, and this past year helped the Dallas Mavericks reach the Western Conference Finals. Jalen, thank you for joining us. What has this last month been like for you? Last couple of months, actually. You had the fantastic series against Utah. You helped Dallas make it to the Western Conference Finals. And then free agency starts, and you get a very nice contract offer from the New York Knicks. Kind of summarize what the last couple of months have been like for you.
It's been crazy. It's been definitely a great problem to have. So, I'm really enjoying going through this experience. It's been a lot, and I think the best part about it is that within all this, I haven't really changed as a person. I don't really plan on it. So I like the way that that feeling is keeping me humble and all the things like that. So it's been crazy, but I'm still me.
Talk a little bit, Jalen, about how difficult a decision was to leave Dallas, with especially being obviously the second option and worked your way into that role and playing alongside Luka. How difficult was it to leave that situation in free agency?
Yeah, it was very difficult. Dallas is a place that basically took a chance on me. A place that's very near and dear to my heart, and I could never really show my gratitude for how I feel about that city, that organization, that fan base. They really welcomed me with open arms, and they really praised me when I was playing well, and they really criticized me when I wasn't, and they really kind of pushed me to play, better consistently. And it was a great 4 years. Something that I could never regret or kind of hold like any grudge or anything like that. It was a place that I called home, and a place I loved.
Jalen, obviously a lot of people look at the fact that your dad, Rick Brunson, who played for the Bulls, was an assistant coach with Tom Thibodeau, is now on the New York staff, as being a big part of your reason for wanting to come to the Knicks. But I'm sure your dad has always taught you to be your own man. How much of a link was there between your dad becoming an assistant coach and you deciding to sign there?
Yeah, I've never had the opportunity to play for my dad on a team. My dad's basically been my mentor, like my trainer, the person who's coached me, not within the team. And so the fact that I have an opportunity like this is something that I may never ever have again. And so it's something that I wouldn't say it was a deciding factor, but it definitely is a plus to know that my dad's going to be there. A person who has helped me get to this point, a person who knows everything that I've been through, and has my most, he cares about me. What father wouldn't care about his son, like his number one priority? So it's an opportunity that I think it was something that I just had to act on.
So take us a little bit back to the 2018 draft coming out of Villanova. Now, you've had this successful high school career where you win a state championship. You go to Villanova, you play for one of the best coaches in college basketball, who, in my opinion, doesn't get the credit he deserves, but Jay Wright's a hell of a coach. And you win 2 national championships. You're the player of the year, consensus first team All-American, and the draft comes. And, take us through that process when the draft was coming. Where did you think you were going to be drafted? Did you think you were going to be a first rounder? Did you think that, you knew you were going to be a second rounder? I thought you were going to be a first rounder, just me personally. Yeah. But what were you going through at that time, and what was your thought process at that point?
I truly didn't know. I thought I thought I was a first rounder. But I just really didn't know where I was gonna go. I treated that day like a normal day. I woke up, went to the gym, got my work done, just treat it like a normal day, like it was nothing, because my mind was racing. So as calm and collective as I may have showed or was, I really wasn't. But I remember before we had so I had my draft party with close family and friends back in New Jersey. But before going to that, at some point during the day, I forget what time, my dad just kind of hints at like Dallas at 33. I kid you not. I was just like yeah, okay. Like, I didn't work out for Dallas. I didn't. They're at the combine. I had a draft interview with them. It was my first draft interview, but I'm just thinking, like, there's just no way. Like, no. And then, it happened. Dallas at 33. So he predicted. I don't know how he did that. It was pretty crazy. But it's a cool story to have. But I mean, that whole night was stressful. But the fact that I got chosen, the fact that I got an opportunity to go there, kind of just, clearly, jump-started my career.
What was your rookie season like? Obviously, being a second-round pick, you come into camp with the Mavericks, and you have to prove that you deserve minutes in the NBA, and it was tough getting minutes in that first year. What was that process like for you in terms of winning over the coach's confidence and proving that you could be a big-time player in this league?
Yeah, it's no different from any other situation I've been through. So it was just another day at the office, I guess. I always have had to, show up and show out and prove myself again and again. It happened in high school. No one really believed me. No one believed I should have been a freshman on varsity. And no one believed I should have started or things like that. And then people soon got to realize that, all right, this kid's good. This kid deserves that. And they kept building and building and building to the point where people were respecting the things that I was doing on the court. And then started all over again back at Villanova. I had to kind of build myself back up, and not really to the fans, but to my teammates. I just wanted to show them like I belong. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, I wanted to be part of something special, but at the same time, I can be helpful. And so I had to work my way back up, and I did that, and got to the point where people were thinking, all right, this guy, like, he deserves it. He's proven himself. And so once I got to the NBA, it's literally the same exact thing. The exact same thing. And then it was no different. And so I just had to put my hard hat on and get to work.
One of the things, being a player in this league too, and seeing how this league operates, it seems like over the last 10, 15 years, teams undervalue guys that know how to play. High basketball IQ. They tend to go with the guy who's got the huge ceiling, the guy who can jump out the gym, but they don't really look at, like they used to, about the guys, what a guy has in his heart, the toughness, the will to win, will do anything to win to help his teammates. And that's something I've always thought you had from the time over at Steve's. I've known you since you was a kid, but every way up, you've always had that same mentality that it's not about being sexy, it's about getting the job done.
Yeah. I think that's how my parents kind of raised me. Basically, I mean, he doesn't have to be, flashy. He doesn't have to be like loud and obnoxious, and everyone doesn't need to know about it. But are you going to get the job done? That's just kind of how I was raised, and I kind of embodied that mindset ever since I could ever remember. But like going back to like the whole drafts thing, like everyone wants like the guy who's like flashy. Everyone wants the guy with the high ceiling. That's literally why it's called the draft lottery. Like, you're playing the lottery to see if you're gonna hit that lottery. Like, you're basically gambling on something. You don't know if it's gonna work or not, but it's taking a gamble. It's literally in the name, so it makes sense. But I mean, like I said before, I have to prove people wrong every single time, and it's just how I've been, and at some point, it's probably not going to change.
Jalen, you used to having the ball in your hands. Of course, you were a high-scoring star at Stevenson High School. We mentioned the 2 national championships at Villanova. You come to the Mavericks, and as I mentioned, you have to earn your minutes. And then Luka comes in as the high pick in the draft that everybody's talking about. What's it like playing alongside a guy like that? I mean, he dominates the ball. At times, he'll take some questionable shots, and he loves to argue with the refs. There are times that you kind of look at it like, what the hell is going on here?
Well, he's a definition of someone hitting the lottery. You know, so you can say Mark and the organization hit the lottery on that one. Luka is one of the best players this league has ever seen.
Right.
First and foremost, he's able to do things where, if he does take a questionable shot, he's earned that right and he's earned that respect to do so. And a lot of people may say, well, like, he doesn't have the respect of his teammates, or he does this, but no, he has no help or whatever. Luka is that good. Like, he's earned that right. He deserves it. And so, playing with a person like that with a lot of, I won't say pressure, it's not really pressure at all, but a lot of attention, a lot of notoriety that's on him. It can be tough, but he deserves it, and it's a person who I truly became to like love as a guy. He was a great teammate. People may say he wasn't, or he's selfish or things like that. Like, that kid wants to win, night in and night out. And watching him kind of lead and do things, it's pretty special. You see the games, he's doing stuff, and like, we as a team, like, we clap, like, all right, cool, but everyone's like thinking, like, this kid's going crazy, he does crazy things. Like, we see it every night. We're seeing this every night. But yeah, he deserves all of it, man. He's going to be a champion and MVP. He's going to do everything in this league that a lot of greats have done, and he may surpass a lot of them, and he deserves it. And that's the type of guy I think he is, and player he is, and he will get to that point.
Let's take us back to the Phoenix series. No one gave you guys a chance to beat Phoenix. Phoenix was the team that was supposed to come out of the West as the West represented in the finals. The one thing I took away when you talk about Luka, I even said it during tweets when watching that series. He's got that Larry Bird, Michael Jordan DNA, where he's got killer. He's a killer. Like, he'll rip your heart out and watch you let it beat before you hit the ground. And I thought Devin Booker really woke him up in that series with the trash talking and the silliness that they were doing, the Phoenix Suns were doing. And I thought that turned the whole series around, because I remember when y'all were walking off the floor and the cameras was following you, and Luka made a comment, yeah, talk now when you win, or something. He said something like that. And I'm like, oh, what did he say?
He said it's easy to talk trash, 3-2 or something like that. Or something. It was something like that. It's easy to
talk.
And
I swear to God, I swear, if I'm sitting here lying, I'm dying. I said, that's some MJ stuff. I said, they blew it now. That kid's coming back. And y'all won that series. And I called some dudes on our team. I said, dude, this white boy MJ for real. Like, God has created another one, but he's white this time. This kid is going to be, in my opinion, I think this kid's going to be a multiple MVP guy. He's going to win a championship before he's done, because obviously you played side by side. You enjoyed playing with him, and he took your game as hard as you work and a player you made yourself out. Would you say he's made the game a little bit easier for your teammates?
100%. He made the game easy because he was such a gravitational pull whenever he was on the court. Whenever when he had the ball, all eyes are on him. But when he was off the ball, like, people were like, they're gravitating towards him. Like, all right, like, Luka's over here. Like, make sure you guys know where Luka is. And that gave us lanes to drive. It gave us lanes to create. And he had such an impact on the court, whether he had the ball or not. And so, but yeah, like, going back to that series, like, we were always like you said, we were not counted in to win that at all, like, win that series at all. But when it came to us believing in each other and doing the things that we know how to do, it was easy. Obviously, we had some games we got blown out or whatever the score. It was up and down, whatever. But we believed in ourselves, and walking into Game 7, we knew that. The pressure was on them. We were walking and thinking, all right, we got this. We didn't think it was going to be a 50-point, 40-point blowout.
I don't think anybody did.
No, it was. But we knew we had the opportunity to win that game, and we were ready, good to go from the moment the ball was thrown in the air.
Yeah, it was fantastic watching that game, and now it's on to the Knicks and playing for Tom Thibodeau, who is an acquired taste at times. What did your dad tell you about playing for Thibs, and what kind of advice has he offered you on being a good citizen for Coach Thibodeau?
Well, anything he said, I've already known. I got to see
Yep.
Thibs firsthand for a long time. I think all the relationships I have, pre-existing walking into this, it felt comfortable. And so, yes, Thibs is a very, hard-nosed and direct coach, but that's how I was coached. That's how I was raised as a kid. My parents and my coach from my father. A lot of things that my dad does and says has came from John Chaney, his college coach at Temple University, and Coach Thibodeau. And I just think that I know what I'm getting myself into. I know it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a challenge, but I think the best word about me is I've never backed down from a challenge. I've never walked on the road and decided to turn back because it was too difficult. I'm walking down this road. I'm going to finish, and I'm going to figure out how to do it. And then that's just how I am, and that's how my mindset is. And but walking down this road, I know that I have to be a proven player and be a proven winner. And this is the perfect situation where if I do win, a lot of things are going to go great, and I'm very excited to have that opportunity.
Talk a little bit about, you've had an opportunity to play for a lot of good coaches, a lot of good mentors in your life, growing up in the NBA game with your father and all the important people you've met. Talk a little bit about what it was like playing for Rick Carlisle, who's one of the top coaches in the league, and then getting Jason Kidd, who's arguably one of the best point guards. How was that experience for you?
It was great. Playing for Coach Carlisle, it was interesting because he was able to give me a confidence when I was in the game, and was able to do things for me that like jump-started my career and jump-started how I was going to play this game. And every year I gotten better and better. And now that's because of Coach Carlisle. That's because of the staff, and that was because of the opportunity that he gave me as well. Playing for Rick, it was great. He was an offensive guru. He had so many things and so many ways to kind of put into a system and put us in a position to be successful. I can't thank him enough for that. But playing for J. Kidd was special, truly special. And it was one, like you say, he's arguably one of the best point guards to ever play. But too bad. I always joke. I didn't really say it to his face too much, but he knows my favorite player was Steve Nash. But that's all I'm gonna say about the Nash. But he was great. I love him. He basically helped me get to this point. He helped me get to the opportunity to make a decision for myself and for my family. From day one, when I first met him, when we walked into the practice facility, when he was there, he said, "Number one on this list is we got to get you paid." And for me, number one on the list is trying to help a team win. That's just number one on my list. But he said, "Yo, we're trying to get you paid. That's just how it is. I know this business, and quite honestly, like that's what we need. That's what you need. And we're not going to shy away from that. We're not going to just act like that's not an elephant in the room. We want to get you paid." And so he put me in a position to elevate my game. And I think when he was what he was doing was not only giving me confidence, but giving my teammates confidence. And my teammates put confidence in me. And the way he was doing everything, the way that coaching staff kind of put us in positions where we knew that we could fight and win games. When things weren't going well for us, it kind of just gave us a confidence that we can win any game, no matter how we're shooting, no matter what they're doing. We can win because we got each other, and it's because of him. But he was great, and they made the decision very difficult because of what he was able to do for me this year. So I can't thank him enough, and he knows that.
Jalen, you're back in the Chicago area hosting a basketball camp, and you mentioned that you're going to be getting together with some of your old high school teammates at Stevenson. What's that like when you get back together with your boys? Obviously, you talk about the glory days and all the great accomplishments you had, but I know your best friends always have a way of keeping you humble, no matter what kind of contract you sign, no matter how many points you score in a playoff game. Those guys know you best, and they keep you grounded, don't they?
Yeah, that's actually it's hilarious that you say that. So we have a group chat. Me and my guys back here. So there's this award. Stacey, you may know about this. There's an award. Long story short, in Stevenson, I have a lot of records and stuff, and like all states, all whatever. But there's this one award that I never won. It's called like the Big Gun Award, and it's kind of like. So the other day we're talking, and he's like, "Yeah, like I have something that Jalen doesn't." Like literally right after everything was like went down, he's like, "Yeah, we all have Big Gun Awards, Jalen. Like, where's yours?" Like I'm like, "I don't have a Big Gun Award." He's like, "Yeah, no, you don't." And I actually walked back today this week. You can see the board of all the Big Gun winners, and for sure I do not. I am not on there. So I'm like, "Well, that's interesting." And so they always knock me down, back to side. But, yeah, I think having my friends around me to keep me humble is a hell of a way to go. And sometimes it hurts, but I mean, it works.
Talk a little bit about Jay Wright. We let our listeners know what was your experience with Jay Wright. He's a special coach. He stepped down this past season, and after all the Big East awards that he won, national championships. I mean, falling behind Rolly Massimino was some big shoes to fill, and everybody loves Rolly Massimino in the Philadelphia area. Mm-hmm. But tell us a little bit about your experience playing for him and what he meant to you.
He meant the world to me. He meant the world to me. He pushed me every single day. Going to that school, I knew I had opportunity to become a better player and to be part of something special and win. And he never, like, on the recruiting visit, he said, "Yo, you're gonna have to earn it. Like, I'm not giving you anything. You're not starting right away. Like, you gotta earn all that." And I was like, "Okay, like, I will earn it. I will do whatever it takes, and we will get to the promised land somehow, some way." But it was never really about winning the national championship. It was just kind of being part of that culture that I knew that I was going to love for the rest of my life. I told him I wanted I didn't want a 4-year commitment. I wanted like a 40-year commitment. I wanted this to be something that I live for the rest of my life. And he was able to make that happen. He was a very tough coach. Like everyone sees Pretty Boy Jay, the GQJ with the suits and all that stuff, and the stale face, and always kind of calm and collected. But he'll push you. Tell you that right now. He'll push you. He'll put you in your place and make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing. But then he's going to give you the confidence to go out there and be a killer. Like, he had that mindset of always laser focused, just being in the zone from the moment the ball from the moment you step off the bus. Like, you're laser focused, and you're not letting anything deteriorate from off your path. So he was always the type of coach that's like, this has to be done this way, and this way, and this way. And if you do it this way, if you have these like core values and qualities in your mindset, then nothing's going to be able to stop us. And then if you all buy into that, we're going to win. And then honestly, once we won that first one, he even said, the fact that I know that this works now, it's going to even be doubled down, go moving forward. So, yeah, he's great, and someone who I'm waiting to get on the golf course soon. So he's been running for me.
Yeah, you played on a couple different groups that won national titles at Villanova. You had the veteran group when you first came in. Wasn't Ryan Arcidiacono on that first team?
Yep.
And
Ryan was a senior when I was a freshman.
Yeah, and then you were the leader on that second group with Mikal Bridges, who's really blown up in Phoenix as a big-time star. What was it like, the contrast, winning the first one as a young guy and then being a leader on the second one?
It kind of brought things like full circle. Like, Jalen, you can, like me talking to myself, like, hey, you can be part of something. It doesn't have to be about you. You don't have to be that guy. You can be part of something. I kind of played every single role while at Villanova. I was a complimentary role player to help. I wasn't like the guy as a freshman, but I was able to be a contributor and help win a national title. And then it kind of transitioned to being the leader and the captain, like sophomore to junior year. And so the fact that I was able to win in that scenario and to be able to lead a team to national championship as well, as a leader and a captain, you kind of learn how to do everything. And the fact that I won in both ways, it's special.
Now that people expect now that you have a big contract, he's made it, his mentality will change. I know it won't, because I know your dad will never let it happen. Your mom will never let it happen. But what part of your game you feel you still can get better at and you can improve on?
Everything. I think I go into every summer wanting to be consistent in everything. Like, how can I be even more consistent? How can I be more efficient? And so I'm working on everything. I'm not trying to work on just one thing and then just try and dominate the entire thing the entire summer. Working off catch and shoots, off the dribble, shooting off the dribble, like finishing, the in-between game, with floaters and mid-range. And obviously that's the part that I'm best at, and that's the most comfortable at. And I'm able to kind of try and bring back to basketball. But I just want to be the best consistent and efficient player I can be night in and night out. So I'm working on everything. And I know it sounds like a broad statement, but literally there's nothing I sincerely focus on. There's days I'm like, I want to do this, but it's not like I'm hammering at that every single day. I am, but that's not the only thing I'm hammering at. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to be as consistent and efficient as I can and be better than I was the year before.
I think the one thing that catches people off guard about you is your size, first of all, and the way you're able to take guards, no matter if they're bigger than you, same size, it's a mouse in the house, free cheese. I'm backing you down. There ain't nothing you can do about it. And when you see, like, you go up posting up Bridges, who's 6'6" or something, and you're just working him in the post like Olajuwon, I think people are caught off how strong you actually are and how you actually have a post game.
Yeah. I take pride in being able to be physical, because this game is not as, you probably definitely say this, but this game is not as physical as it used to be. And so I think if I can use my physicality, it can definitely create for myself and others. But Mikhail's definitely not gonna like the fact that you just said I was bullying him in the post. And hopefully he never sees this, but he's I'm gonna leave that like that. So.
But Jalen, your work ethic is taking you to great places in the league. You're already just a young guy in the NBA, and now you're taking on the mantle of the point guard leader for the New York Knicks. We wish you all the best in New York. Please give our best to your dad. And we look forward to seeing you coming into Chicago a couple times every year now with the Knicks instead of just once with Dallas. Congratulations on all your success, and thanks for joining us on Give Me the Hot Sauce.
Hey, next time you come to town, you come into the studio.
There you go.
For sure.
Yeah, you come in and sit next to me, boy. Good luck this year.
I got you. I appreciate y'all, and thank you so much.
And we're going to hand you an honorary gun award. I know we can't change it in the mantle, but you got it from us, all right?
Coach Ambrose, I told him that last night. He's like, I'll make one for you so you can, your ego won't be too hit. I was like, all right, now it's.
Tell him to give you the bigger gun award. Not just the bigger gun. You got the biggest gun.
And Stacey will have some of his signature hot sauces heading your way, too.
Oh, yeah. I need that.
Jalen Brunson, our special guest on Give Me the Hot Sauce. Thanks again for joining us.
All right, JB. Tell your pops I said what's up.
Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
Episode 89 of Give Me the Hot Sauce rolls on. A great talking to Jalen Brunson, as we mentioned, the pride of Stevenson High School. And his buddies wouldn't let him forget that he didn't win that special hustle award that they had out there.
Yeah, the Big Gun Award, man, that's huge. That's huge. Anybody who wins that award, man, that's like a Hall of Fame type situation there. And it's really surprising that he did not win that award because, I mean, you know, you go back and look at his high school career, we were just talking about it, is that the fact that he took Stevenson High School to 3 state finals. They finished 3rd, 2nd, and they won they won the high school championship in 2015, I think. And then 2 national championships in Villanova. The kid's a winner. That's why it's really surprised me that he went so low in the draft at 33. But it worked out well because these are the stories that you hear about. These guys who get drafted late who end up being really great players, and then they capitalize on it because when you're a second-round pick, Mark, you're not regulated with a rookie salary cap. Right. So when your rookie deal's over, you can sign way more than what an average first-rounder will sign.
And that's the problem with Io, because Io only signed a 2-year deal. The Bulls are going to have to pony up if they want to keep him.
Exactly. So there's some perks being a second-rounder.
Yeah. And the funny thing, too, is you know this when you go back to Oklahoma, your boys will always keep you humble. You know, he was talking about the fact that he gets together with his guys and they give him all kinds of crap. That's just those are the best times looking back on your high school days.
Yeah, that is. I mean, those guys keep keep the air from going into the balloon. He also, his parents are super. Like they will never let him get his head too big. He is yes sir, no sir. I've known him since he was probably 10 years old, and he always dresses me as yes sir, no sir. And I'm like, man, just call me Stacey, man. You make me sound too old. But that's the kind of kid he is. And I just hope he really does well in New York. I know it's so tough. The expectations are going to be so high for him. Yeah. And you know how New York is. I mean, if you don't play to a certain level, the team's not winning, they'll boo you. And he's a tough kid.
It's not going to be easy.
He's a tough kid. He played in Philadelphia for Villanova. It's not going to faze him any bit. His dad's there. He's got a good support group there. Leon Rose was his agent before he went into management. Since Thibs have known him since he was a little kid. So there's a good support group there for him to play. My biggest thing, Mark, is how did he play with Julius Randle? Because that's the guy who handles the ball, takes the ball out of the point guard.
What if they get Donovan Mitchell? Be fighting for the ball.
I'm telling you right now.
Stealing it.
Oh, yeah. They'll be playing one-on-one defense coming over half court. Aren't they on the same team?
Yeah, that could be ugly.
Does that stat go on the stat sheet if you steal it from your own teammate?
No, I don't think so. Guys trying for the triple-double, shooting the ball at the wrong basket,
the
getting
wrong
the rebound.
basket.
Yeah, we've seen that. Ricky Davis tried that back in the day.
Yes.
Hey, if you're looking at watching us on Twitch or on YouTube and you see that good-looking guy that's not Whispers, that's Eric King on the end.
Oh, we're talking about Eric.
We're gonna put him to work.
Yes, the apple doesn't fall. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So we're gonna let him read Give Me the Hot Sauce. Read America.
Did you hear that, Eric? There's two good-looking guys here.
You can get the great hot sauce you see behind us.
Is this Verde, or how do you guys pronounce this? The St. Pat's?
Verde.
Am I on?
You're on.
Yeah, the light's on you, son. The spotlight's been on you. Come on, man.
All right, trying to score the best hot sauce in the game. Well, listen up.
Come on, man.
Well, listen up, because we have a variety of flavors that will bring some spice into your life. That's right. Gimme the Hot Sauce has the best small batch organic sauces for your kitchen.
Oh, he's doing great.
He's doing great.
Whether it's Chicago-style red sauce with a garlic twist, fan favorite St. Pat's Verde, our spicy and Sweet King's K.
No,
Q. That's Q.
Our spicy and Sweet King's Q, or the hottest of the bunch, Chicago Fire 1871. That's too hot for me. Use code HOTSAUCE21 to get 20% off your first order. Hey, if they want spicy sauce, they'll go after that one.
Yeah,
too spicy for
absolutely.
Me.
Okay, hey, America.
Give me the hot sauce.
America, this is my son. I love him to death.
We could
I love him to death. I love him to death. But he's fired. He's fired. You can't give it 1871. It's too hot for me. Way to just cost us some sales.
The read was great, but there's one important fact that was left out. You got to go to GimmeTheHotSauce.com.
Exactly.
That's important to include.
Yes.
We're gonna get a rewrite on the next.
Hold on. Let him bring it home with use the code.
Use the code, Eric. Read the use code.
No, he read that, but you got it. The first step is you got to go to GimmeTheHotSauce.com.
Well, guys,
but it's not your fault.
Yeah,
it's not your fault.
Bad copy.
Go to GimmeTheHotSauce.com.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay,
You want
you're
some good hot sauce?
For all your hot sauce needs.
Still fired. I know your mom's saying he did a good job. She's like, that's my baby. He can read it. Oh, that's my baby. Well, Lisa, he's been fired. Sorry, I had to tell you that. He's been fired.
I thought he did great. Hey, let's talk some baseball because we're getting ready to start the second half of the season. And it looked for a while like there wasn't going to be much to be interested here in Chicago, but Well, that's first things first. Let's talk about the All-Star game, which was played a couple of days ago, which turned into kind of a snooze fest. At one point, American League pitchers retired 20 straight National League hitters. And we were talking about this in our production meeting, the fact that it used to be these games were exciting. You'd see tape measure home runs. You'd see guys stealing bases. It was a lot of fun. Now the pitchers, Stacey, are so dominant, nobody can get a hit.
Listen, not too long ago, the chicks were digging the long ball.
That's right.
Okay? But now you're not seeing the long ball. Okay? Yeah, I mean, other than the Yankees, unless you want to put the Yankees in the All-Star game, they're the only ones really smashing the ball. But it's gotten boring, and the pitchers are so dominant now. We might need to make that call to Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and said, hey, we might need a little of that magic. We need a little of that magic juice what is that Barry Bonds used, the clear?
Yeah, that's right.
Rub the old clear on the cheeks. I don't know. we need to bring it back. It's not fun anymore.
No, it's boring.
It's boring. I mean,
Belko.
I don't know, Mark. I don't know how you make the game exciting. I don't know how you can, up it up a little bit, but people want to see home runs in all-star games. Just like people want to see in the basketball game, they want to see dunks and high scoring. In football, they want to see, touchdowns and celebrations in the end zone. And, in baseball, it's...
The All-Star Game used to be one of my favorite events. I look forward to that all summer. That was like the highlight of the summer was watching baseball's best players because they didn't have interleague play back then. So it was American League against the National League, wherever your allegiance was in your particular city. I used to love the All-Star Game. They've taken all the fun out of it now to the point where people get more excited about Home Run Derby on Monday than the game itself because the game has been boring.
Well, Mark had a really exciting childhood. He was looking forward to the All-Star game.
Wow.
I was like, oh wow, I never even really paid attention.
I love the All-Star. I'll tell you a story. When I was in high school, I was an usher at Milwaukee County Stadium, and so they had the All-Star game in Milwaukee. So I'm thinking, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna watch the All-Star game. Get the people to their seats. And so they decided in their infinite wisdom, they put me. Milwaukee County Stadium was a terrible facility.
Oh, it was
just
terrible.
One of those old things with
terrible.
beams and poles everywhere.
Poles everywhere. You couldn't even see half the game if you were on the outside.
I was underneath the upper deck trying to get people to get to their seats. I couldn't see the field. And I'm like, this is great. So looking forward to the All-Star game in my hometown. I'm sitting in a chair with the grandstand covering my view. It was fantastic.
Mark, but now that you brought that up, are you a little disappointed that they banned the guy from throwing peanuts now, the vendor? A 40-year vendor? Can't throw his
I'm
peanuts
a little
anymore?
disappointed at that.
I am
Really?
too. That was a true pro.
At the Milwaukee game?
That's a real skill.
No, in Chicago here.
Oh, it's
40
the same
years
thing.
of tossing peanuts.
You know what?
That's like 30 years of abuse.
That's it. Yeah.
That's 40
Come
years.
on, man. Really? They banned the guy from throwing peanuts?
Yeah, he's been tossing for 40 years.
Oh, man. Come on.
And they're showing his skills on some highlights.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's remarkable, quite frankly.
The Cubs did this.
Yes.
That's why they're last place.
Banned. Banned.
Yeah, you're cutting all the fun out of the games. How about the time when they were doing the cup train? Did you remember they were doing the cup?
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet.
Broke that up, too.
Hey, this guy comes over there and
Knocks it
karate
over.
chops it. Man, he should have got his ass whooped on ESPN. It took us all this way to build this train, and then some dude with tight khaki pants and a red polo shirt comes in and knocks it over, kicks it. I mean, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, they're having fun. Let the people have fun. They're not doing anything. They're not showering beer on people. They're having fun. The team is losing. Yeah. Let them have some fun, man.
That's all we got.
He should have got the beat down. He should have got beat down.
Yeah, and August 2nd is the trade deadline in baseball, which means Wilson Contreras and several other Cubs will be headed out of town. How can they do this with all the money they're pulling in at Wrigley Field?
They're going back to the old days, Mark.
They think they're the Blackhawks.
Hey, let me tell you.
Well, that's a whole other story, man. Oh, man.
Mark, they're going back to the old days when they had Soriano and all these guys, and they said, hey, we got this superstar player, but we're not winning. And they had no talent around them. They're going back to that days, Mark.
It's going to be a long second half on the north side.
The Cubs people are going to come out and watch the Cubs because they're the historical team. People who come from out of town.
They like the bars and the restaurants.
Yes, exactly. And the people who come from out of town want to go see Cub games. That's anybody coming from my hometown, Oklahoma, or my state, Oklahoma. They say, hey, man, I got to catch the Cubs game. I got to catch the Cubs game. I'm like,
yeah, they can pay $700.
Go to the south side, baby.
They can pay $750 for a room at the Zachary Hotel across the street.
$750 a night. Man, you better get me a Red Roof Inn. I
don't think they got any of those.
They need to find one. $750 A night?
Something like that, yeah.
Man. And they're not winning either.
Stacey will take 2 rooms.
Man. And they're not winning either. That was if you had the World Series Cubs, I can see that. You charging $750 in the way the economy is now, and then watching a bad team.
If you build it, they will come.
Man,
all the fans from Iowa. That's their summer vacation.
If you build it, you can burn it too for $750 a night. Are you out your mind?
And they got the Cubs and the Reds in the Field of Dreams game coming up in a couple of weeks. How could you come up with that matchup?
Man,
what a dream.
Let me tell you
They're
something.
gonna come
It's a nightmare.
they're going to come through the corn and people will be throwing tomatoes at them and stuff.
No, they're going to come through the corn and Shoeless Joe Jackson, all the ghosts are going to pull them back into the corn and say, get your ass back in here. You don't deserve to play here.
We need 2 real teams here.
We need some real teams. Go get me Mike Trout. Give me the Yankees.
Some real stars.
Give me some Yankees that's going to hit home runs.
Remember last year's game with Tim Anderson with that walk-off and in the cornfield? That was fantastic.
That was a great presentation. You had Kevin Costner out there. He was, narrating it. It was awesome. Everybody coming out the corn. It looked like a movie production.
Now you got the AAA Cubs against the Reds, the worst team in the baseball.
Listen, Cub fans, I know you're out there. I know you hear me right now. You hear Mark over slandering your team.
It's a battle.
Hey, listen, Cub fans. I'm
a Cub fan.
Okay, listen, I'm sympathizing with you right now. Okay. They shouldn't be in the field drinking. Stop them. Is there a petition that says we can get another team in there before it's too late? How on ESPN when you have an NBA game,
you flex the game.
Flex game.
Yeah.
So you have a team will get ready to play and they say, oh yeah, we got so and so on.
We got somebody else.
We're going to change that. You guys suck. We're going to put another team in there now. You guys are going to go on ESPN 6.
Yeah.
No one's watching ESPN 6.
How about the Yankees and the Dodgers? That might be an idea.
Yes. Get a winning team. Get the numbers up all the time. Yeah. I mean, if you're not winning, man, I'm sorry. Just like those games, when they do that, the hockey games.
Right.
Man, put the best teams out there. Man, don't put no teams out there that's not winning. Under 500 guys out there not scoring no goals, ain't doing nothing, getting beat 20-0.
And the most expensive vendors in National League is the Cubs.
Yeah,
so you also spend the most.
Yeah, I saw a survey. It's the second highest fan experience for 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and a couple of beers.
Yeah. So didn't we want to trademark that 10 years ago? We socialized on the north side, play baseball on the south side.
Hey, they're playing baseball on the south side. They won 5 out of 6. They got the Guardians coming in town. And only 3 games out of first. Stacey's got rocking the Sox hat. Yes. They got a chance to win the division again.
You know what? I told you, Mark.
Oh, now he's back on the wagon. Bandwagon.
Mark, I told you.
Nostradamus.
Because he's not on the wagon. He's on the bandwagon.
Listen, I told you people. Once they got healthy, they got too many good players. They're starting to get healthy, and I think Tony La Russa is not falling asleep. And they're moving the ball, they're hitting the ball, the pitching's good. They got a shot. Are you saying they got a chance? Yes, they do.
What? Only 2 games now?
3 games out.
3?
Oh, man,
weren't you listening? I just said that.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry.
Man, pay attention, man. How do you sleep with the lights on?
Sorry, I was like Tony La Russa. I'm sorry.
See, oh, wow. I'm going to a Sox game pretty soon.
Nice.
You know what?
You going to call a game again this year?
Jeez, I wonder if we're invited, Mark.
First of all, listen, hey, come on. If I get a suite, you coming. Come on.
Okay. Just checking.
White Sox take care of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
America, you heard it.
The Cubs, America. The White Sox South Side takes care of you, boy. Anytime I want to come to a White Sox game, Jerry sets it out for me, and that's awesome. Sweet. We got the dessert cart and all that stuff comes in. Unbelievable. All right. So White Sox, if you're listening to the podcast, I'm coming out there pretty soon.
All right, Eve, we're set up.
He's bringing the whole gang out there.
I'm bringing the whole game out there. The whole hot sauce crew. It'll be a hot sauce party.
Hey, your son heard it.
Yeah.
Wow. A man, a few words.
That seemed like a Whispers line right there.
Exactly. Just like Whispers.
We'll hold you to that.
Hey, we got another great sponsor we want to tell you about. Whispers. This is a new and improved Angel Water ad. Let's give this.
You,
now,
let me
now really
hit
this because
here.
last week I did it and Stacey said you didn't fall asleep during it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so see what you can do with this. This is a new copy approved by our folks at Angel Water. It's really good stuff.
Oh, jeez.
And we've got the product here, too.
I've already fell asleep and you hadn't even started reading it yet.
This is great. Listen up, Bulls Nation. We want to make water healthier for your home and family.
There you go.
So look no further than our favorite new water here in the Hot Sauce Studios, Angel Water. This company is on a mission to provide water-free toxins, chemicals that cause long-term damage to your health We thank them for providing the Gimme hot sauce team with more than enough H2O. That's high quality H2O.
At least Eric's opened the bottle, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I drank mine. Somebody took my bottle off.
So that's
Stacy's on his second bottle.
847-382-7800.
No, do it again because I talked over that.
Yeah,
Go
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, the hot sauce team with more than enough H2O to keep cool.
Yes,
Stay hydrated all year long.
No, the phone number, Tim. Come on.
Well, it wasn't even on here, so I gotta make.
There's no
good
phone
thing.
number
What
on there.
you ad-libbing the phone number? That's not a good thing
I
to
actually
do.
know it because I have to call.
All
them.
right.
Yeah, just call.
All right,
Hey,
hot
listen,
sauce crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need the phone number.
Yes.
847-382-7800.
Or you can
and use
call-
King 21 for a free water test.
Or you can call 1-800-CHIEF Chief Little Legs and tell them Tim sent you.
Wow.
They
That's
don't know
beautiful.
who Chief Little Legs is. That's
They
the owner.
don't.
That's the owner of Angel Water Soft.
That's right. So,
Wow.
okay.
So
Well, we're brutal here, man.
Yeah.
We're over here killing
And
our
that's-
sponsors.
we're losing all our sponsors.
Hey, Mark.
These are all childhood
man.
friends,
Hey,
Mark.
Mark. That's why Stacey was in the running for a fan favorite of all time with the Bulls.
I didn't see him on the papers that you gave me.
Yeah,
listed
so they did this bracket.
Who's they?
That would be Bulls Nation combined with ESPN to find out who is the all-time fan favorite of the Bulls.
Okay.
So they did these brackets, throwing a bunch of favorite players in there, even if they had one season, like
It'd be
Nate
nice if you
Robinson.
given the graphics to our hot sauce crew and the people
Yeah,
could
it's-
No,
Yeah,
this came up late in the day. It just
Oh,
popped up
yeah.
on my radar. I was like, dang.
It's like
but,
ad-libbing the phone number of Angel Water.
but because Stacey King lost last night in his bidding, I was a little upset.
So
Who
who won?
lost?
Who won?
There's not a winner yet, but it's coming down to it. But Stace just lost Zach Levine, which is
Oh, so we went
that's fair
head to
enough.
head?
Yes,
That's not fair.
That ain't
coming
right.
down to
I should have been on the other side.
it's on the quarterfinals here.
It's terrible.
Kirk Heinrich beat Alex Caruso, so it's now we're coming down to Kirk and Zach, and
I
Taj
question-
beat out Nate Robinson,
I question the validity of this.
and now
poll.
we're down in the finals here.
Listen,
We'll
it's
see how it goes.
America. First of all, this is an imposter of a type of poll. First of all,
I think he made it up.
Let me
I don't
tell you
think there's
something.
any- I
Let
don't
me
think
tell you
it's real.
something. I got voted as one of the 10 sexiest men in Montana. How in the hell can I not be in the number one on this vote over
Well,
here?
you are the Black Brad Pitt.
I am the Black Brad Pitt. When you get the top 10 in Montana, that says something, Mark.
That's right.
It says something.
And Whispers got voted off Northerly Island.
That's true.
Whispers is on Shark Week this week, and he's going to go diving with sharks. And I'm
With
gonna
a hook
push
in my
him-
mouth.
I'm going to push him in, and I'm going to cut him, and I'm going to throw him in the water where the great whites are. That'll be a great Shark Week. Could you imagine Whispers getting thrown in the water, bleeding?
Larry
What
the
did you do?
Lobster.
He'd be like, "What did you do that for, Stace?" I'm like, "It's just bring up ratings."
I was about to say, Mark, sharks don't eat lobsters.
Oh, this is
You were in
yeah.
Phoenix last week, so yeah, you
I'm a
were
little
kinda-
torched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little red.
I was just running to the car.
I mean, yeah. Hey, buddy. I mean, I'm looking at it. It's about as red as my shirt.
Yeah, it's not good.
Man.
Hey, before we get out of here, what'd you think of the whole Eddie Olczyk episode? You mentioned the Blackhawks earlier. A lot of talking back and forth that it was a mutual decision, but you know how that works, Stacey.
Man,
That's
I tell you what. First is listen, when iconic guys leave, Neil Funk,
Pat Foley
left. I mean, that's an end of an era. Harry Carey, Hawk Harrelson, those guys are all gone now, and so new people have to fill those shoes, and those guys at one point will be legends. But Eddie Olczyk, man, is one of the best analysts, not just in hockey, but in all of sports. Like I'm America. I'm not even a hockey fan, except for the fights. I love the fights. Like I love to see people getting beat up. Okay, but Eddie Olczyk has me when I listen to him call a game, I actually listen and understand the game. He makes it that easy, and he's a great guy. I've known Eddie since our kids played baseball together in Buffalo Grove Park District. So I've known him, for 25 plus years. Great guy, great family guy. Battled, cancer. Was able stage 3. Was able to fight through that and get back to where he was before. And to see him, he should leave on his own terms. Basically, that's what I think. I think when you're that iconic to an organization, a franchise, you leave on your own terms. If you say, "Hey, look, I want to leave. I'm retiring. I'm done," that's one thing. But he's still going to be working for NBC. He's still going to be doing the horse racing thing. It just caught me off guard, Mark, to realize I think he's going to Seattle.
Yeah, his brother
His
is
brother's
assistant
assistant
general
general
manager.
manager. He's going to Seattle. man, that hurt, man. That hurt. And I think it's going to be the same thing that happened. Remember when they didn't bring Pat Foley back? And then it was such an outcry from the fans that, it was over contract dispute, I think. And then they got such an outcry from the fans that they brought Pat Foley back. And I think you're going to see the same thing with Eddie Olczyk. It doesn't matter who they bring in. I understand they looked at some other players, from former players. But there's something about Eddie, man, that separates him from all the other hockey analysts, man. He's got that swag about him, man. And, just an amazing guy.
And I loved his donuts. Oh, wait, that was Stan Mikita.
Jesus, what's this guy here, man?
A nice heartfelt tribute.
Yes,
and
he ruined it. He ruined it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ruined it.
See, Eric, you got to be careful. You say something, you just get slapped back.
You're a comedian, though.
All right, bring in Eddie Belfour. It's the same first name.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This guy's just peeing in the cornflakes.
Hey, we want to thank all the people that have been following us on the Twitch chat and the Twitch stream, I should say, and on YouTube. We appreciate you making your comments along the way. And we had a poll that we put out yesterday. We talked earlier in the show about the Central Division and the Eastern Conference, where the Bulls kind of fit in. So we asked you, where do you think the Bulls will finish in the Eastern Conference last year? 73% of you said they're going to finish 1 through 4 in that top 4 seed, which means home court advantage in the first round. The other 27% said they'll finish 5th or 6th. Your third option was they'll be in the play-in tournament. Nobody picked that, and that's good. Yeah.
No, they shouldn't. I mean, this team, the expectations of this team is going to be high this year. Everybody in the city should be excited. The players should be excited. You got a taste of the playoffs last year. You haven't been in 6 years. They had won 45 games last year. If they don't have these injuries, would have, could have, should have. If you have Lonzo Ball healthy, they beat Milwaukee in the first round. Knowing how the series played out with Chris Middleton getting hurt, I think they win game 1, possibly game 2. He makes that big of a difference in this team's play, controlling the pace, rebounding, defense, blocking shots, everything, posting up on the post. So having him back healthy is going to be key. I watched him in the summer league, and I was trying to slow it down to see how he was walking. But then I see a wedding picture. He's at IG on the wedding. Somebody was getting married. One of his best friends was wedding, and he was out there grooving. So I looked at he was dancing. He was dancing like Dancing with the Stars type dancing. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't look like a guy who has a bad knee. So I'm encouraged. So I think he'll be back healthy. And I honestly believe that this team is going to win 50-plus games. And the goal right now is the next step up. Get past the first round. Get home court advantage. Get past the first round. And then once you get to the second round, let the chips fly where they may.
I saw Patrick Williams was at the Sky game yesterday. They've won 5 in a row, best record in the WNBA.
It's time for the Gimme the Hot Sauce crew to go out there and make a visit and support. We had Coach Wade here. We had Allie Quigley here. They're friends of the program. At least we can do. I've been trying to get you guys to go the last 3 weeks, and you guys have turned me down. I've been wanting to go out there with a bad hip. Wow. Let's go out and support our team. And you guys, we got a barbecue this week. We're going on the boat. We don't have time. Whispers is talking about he's got to go
Nothing
sunbathe.
But lies. Nothing but lies, America.
So Chicago Sky fans, Stacey King is going to come out there and support because they got a chance to win it again.
They
got
do.
a chance to win it
Back-to-back titles.
Back-to-back titles. And I'm not going to be one of those people that, jump on the bandwagon. I'm just going to show up at the finals. Okay? Right. I'm showing up sometime in the near future.
All right. And tell the folks about how you got here today and how you and Eric are getting home. Is Eric still getting a ride back with you?
No. Yeah, it is. I know his mother may
still to be determined.
Yeah, I just texted his mother to come pick him up. And
she's in Denver.
Oh, I guess
that's a long commute.
I guess she'll be catching Uber. Give me the read, man. Where's the read?
Windy City Limousine. Okay, transporting the King safely.
America, the Golden Pipes are back. Okay, the BNC team, the BNC team are off the mic. The A team is back. Are y'all ready for this? Windy City Limousine provides a championship service. Making a reservation is so easy, it's a slam dunk. Let Windy City break the full court pressure of traffic and get you to your destination in style and on time. Contact us at 866-94-WINDY. Again, that's 866-94-WINDY.
That's the A-team, E.
Yeah, what'd you think, Eric?
Like it too.
Windy City Limousine.
Wow.
Oh, you got to ride home.
Hey, the Golden Pipes, baby. Hey,
going out strong.
Hey, baby, it's in the DNA, baby. It's in the DNA.
It's how you finish.
Exactly. We can never, but you never can finish. I don't know how that is right there, buddy.
Yep.
Hey, we want to thank Jalen Brunson for joining us on episode 89 to Give Me the Hot Sauce. Stacey always brings you the best guests. Who knows may drop by the.
We got to get Tom Aspinall on here after he wins this weekend, beating a former guest.
Who?
Well, you want to explain the rest of it?
The up and coming Irish heavyweight taking on Blades.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you talking about UFC this week?
Yeah. Oh. Did you hear what he said on the news?
What did he say?
To the media, and they said, could you explain this? And he explained it about teabagging.
Oh, no.
All right, let's not go there.
No, he said he was going to teabag Blades?
Yeah, and then the guy goes, what is that? He goes, I'm going to get over his head and I'm going to rock back and forth before the ref, whatever. And he goes, and then the media guy goes,
eating dinner, we apologize.
I kept that clean.
America.
And he said, thanks for clarifying that.
America, UFC fans out there, that's not going to happen. Curtis Blades is going to destroy him.
Actually, I agree.
Blades is a top 4 heavyweight in the UFC. Okay, he's only lost to like championship caliber guys.
Actually, he was beating Lewis when he lost.
Yeah, dude. There is no this dude. Oh man, and talking about teabagging.
That was funny. When people want to be Conor McGregor, they end up getting crushed.
Well, that's the problem. You got all these guys, trying to mimic what Conor McGregor does. See, the difference is Conor McGregor sells tickets and sells, pay-per-views, but he also goes out there and does the things that he predicts.
Yeah.
When he says he's going to knock somebody out, when are you going to knock him out? Probably the first round. And he goes out and knocks him out in the first round. When he said he's going to beat Jose Aldo and no one gave him a chance to win at all because that guy had won like 10 years in a row. He's the longest reigning featherweight champion in the history of UFC. Not even close to losing.
Second round KO.
So everyone wants to beat Conor, and everybody talks about Conor, and, they want to hate on him. And, but if it wasn't for Conor, the UFC might be under. They might not be the promotion that they are now without him. You see guys now, how he changed the game. You see guys now, Conor would come to a press conference. He'd come to the fight in a 3-piece suit. He'd be G'd up all the time. Go to the press conference. He's not wearing sweats. He's not wearing stuff. He's wearing shades. He's wearing, Versace clothes. Now you got every fighter who goes to the press conference or even walking into fights dressed to impress. So that tells you the impact that guy has.
He started RPN.
Wait, Nicky, what are you doing over there? Come on, man. Nate Diaz is done.
Oh, man.
Hey,
he beat even when he lost, he beat him.
Come on, man. He killed Nate Diaz. Come on.
Diaz got up like Frankenstein, like Freddy that day, that fight.
You know what? Every so often, America, we have our hot sauce crew in the back. They have something to say. One time it was Cisco talking about he wanted to hear the thong song. We got Dangerous D, Dangerous D talking about, hey, you wanted Kendra Lust. He didn't get to see her last time he was here. They weren't working at the time. We got Maddie talking about she's got boils because it's too hot walking over to get Starbucks coffee. And then we happen to have Nicky Knuckles come on here talking about some bullshit about Conor McGregor losing to, Nate. And then we got Matty Ice out there. No one even knows if he speaks English. He's behind the glass. We never see him. But he's the guy that makes the social media go. So I'm giving Matt a shout out there, even though no one else in this room does, okay? That's how important these guys are to us. But, Maddie with the boil, she's going to be all right. We put a little butter on it. And so she's walking good now. She's good, America. She's good. And Nicky Knuckles, I tell you what, man, those are the kind of times you wish you had a dog collar. So anytime someone says something crazy like he just said, Nate Diaz is the greatest. Nate Diaz, shock his ass. Like a little, like,
I'll break out of that collar like Diaz.
Oh my God!
It's cement in his shoes.
Listen, first of all, Nicky comes in with a new hairstyle. Didn't think I noticed. Okay, don't think I didn't notice that, Nick. I see you, son.
Trimming it up.
He trimmed it up. Yeah, I see. Like he going into the Marines. I see it.
Oh, so you bought a lawnmower? 3 easy payments. Huh?
He's over there with his. He got a little cute little hairstyle over there, looking all cute. I wish we could see it, America. He's behind the scenes.
Stand
in front of the camera.
Oh,
there it is, right there. There it is. See his fade? See how it blends in? That looks nice over there. Look like Stevie Wonder cut it. But I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that, America. Mark, we're off the trails. Mark, we're off the trails. Get us on. We're on the track.
Hey, episode 89 was a lot of fun, even though the end of it, we can't describe what happened there. Want to thank everybody.
Somebody just said they want to see Maddie's boils. We can't show that right now, America.
My goodness.
You can't show that. You don't want to see that right now. You will not eat the rest of the night. Trust me on that one.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
No, we love Maddie. Maddie's our producer. She does a great job.
So, Eric, what'd you think? You have fun?
I did. I wish I would have had more time to prepare, but
come on, man. You're a king.
No prepare.
No prepare. You have fun.
Next time.
It was fun.
All right.
My first time listening to a full podcast, so I think I'll listen to the rest.
Yes. Okay. Don't ask.
What an endorsement.
Don't ask for payment.
He kind of likes the hot sauce, and he might listen to another episode.
No, I love the hot sauce. The spicy one's too spicy.
The hot one is too hot for him.
Yeah,
okay.
My deodorant starts to melt.
Dangerous D's over there talking about he tried the hot sauce. He talking about it wasn't hot. Then he got his tongue burned. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Got blisters on his tongue. Mm-hmm.
Boils.
Yeah. Got boils on his tongue. You know, he tried to say it wasn't from eating the hot sauce.
All right.
We're off the trail.
Hey, D, play the music. Play the music. Get us out of here.
We're getting out of here. It's Comedy Hour, America. Drive home safely. Beep, beep.